Hey, it's Václav. So I'm currently going to Vienna. Just made a stop in Pandorf for a little bit, and I'm going to a conference called ViennaUP and also a startup cup summit. It's a startup competition. I'm generally against this stuff. I mean, it's good for your PR if you're a startup, but it doesn't really help you in your business. But we'll see. I want to go, and if next year you will be thinking of going to these conferences in Vienna, like it's a whole week. It's generally pretty cheap, and I will let you know if it's a good idea to actually go there or if it was a waste of time. I myself plan on meeting a few startups there I mentor, see if they place in the competition, but also really to just meet new startups to see if there would be any potential investment. Then I'm on to Bratislava to do a private event there as well. And then it's a 2-day event in Budapest after that, purely for investors, so family offices, LPs, GPs. So that one should be fun as well. And then after we going back to Prague. So it's a full week of events. It's basically 4-hour drive from Prague to Vienna and then about an hour more. I'm almost there, so almost an hour from Vienna. So it's a pretty good trip. So hopefully it's not a complete waste of time. Hey founders, so let's make a quick stop here. I'm still in Vienna near Schönbrunn and I just finished the ViennaUP event and I really want to talk about a few tips. So I want to drop some talk on how to get the return on investment from an events like this, where if you just go and stack up business cards that you get, you're doing it the wrong way. So the real value of these events isn't in how many sessions you can attend, but it's how many conversations you can have and how many relationships you can build in those sessions. So before I came here, I've done 3 things. Made a list of founders and investors I wanted to meet. I found out who was attending and I reached out before the event to set up some meetings. So I'm here not chasing business cards, but I'm chasing alignment. So I was looking for founders I can help raise capital. I was looking for founders I could potentially invest. I was looking for investors I could partner up and co-invest, and any other partners whom we would have some alignment. So now, after the event that I went through all these sessions, I've made a list of people and I'm going to follow up with them. I've had couple of already follow-on calls scheduled, but I'm also looking to do a follow-up with some of the meetings maybe I've missed or they didn't show up, or for the meetings we had and we didn't have quite a chance to set up another follow-up meetings and we had some value exchange, we've built a relationship. Well, now I can come down to, let's say, an Excel spreadsheet and I can just write down the names, the contact details, and just track who I want to keep having more discussions, whether it's for mentoring or investing or partnering up. And you should do the same. It's literally 15 minutes after the event, and I recommend doing it the same day, because if you do it in a week, well, it will be harder for you to mentally just go back and try to do everything, find the conversations. And the people, they just moved on with their lives. And this is what most people do. They go to an event, they pitch like crazy, get business cards, and then nothing happens 3 weeks after. I would much rather for you to do the research before, it's 15 minutes, send a bunch of messages before, another 15 minutes, and then after the event, if you've done, let's say, in that day, a 10-15 meaningful conversations where you've connected, then just follow on with these people if you have something to discuss with them. and you contract it in like a simple Excel. You don't even have to pay for a CRM. So let me know under the comments if it made sense and if you were able to create value from events like this. I'm actually going to hop into my car and I'm going to a next event in Budapest, so I will see if that one will be interesting enough to maybe post some update and some notes as well. So I'm just on my way to Budapest, where I'm going for the second conference, and I was calculating the prices for the flight tickets actually. How much would it cost me to go from Prague to Budapest? And if I didn't plan the second conference in Vienna and I would just fly directly, it would actually be about 3 times cheaper than taking the car. That's insane. So I was looking at the prices, and the least expensive economy Ryanair ticket I found from Prague to Budapest was like 70 euros. That's incredible. That's like a direct flight. That's a back and forth actually. And that's incredible. Like, if you took a train, it would cost you a lot more money, and obviously it would be insanely long. And if you have the car, it's like 5-6 hours direct driving. If depends on the traffic. So 70 euro to get somewhere for like in almost an hour, under an hour, is incredible. So I think like if you're not going to conferences for your startup or your business, like, you should reconsider, because you can find the time to go, let's say, every 3 months to 1 or 2, and if you pay 2 nights, 100 euro per night, some food, then you can get it like under 300-400 euros, including the travel and food for the conference, plus if it's paid, and plus obviously the tickets. But that's really good. So I think that like it's gotten to a point where flying across Europe is like quote unquote almost free. Like driving by car, doing road trips like this is actually far more expensive and takes far more time. I mean, I enjoy the freedom, and this allowed me to plan 2 conferences actually that are in the same week on the same path, but still, like, it would make much more sense to just fly to the Budapest for 2 or 3 days. And for a car, obviously, you have to make some pauses because you generally don't want to drive that long non-stop. But that's just a point I stumbled across as I'm driving in this highway, in this traffic. Hey, so I'm wrapping up here in Budapest and going back to Prague. So wanted to record a quick sum up of the event. So I've been here for 3 days for an event with LPs, GPs, and institutional investors. So it was a private equity and venture capital related event, and it was very, very good. I think that those like invite only or recommendation only events where there's a private setup, here it was like just 500 investors. Where in Vienna it was like thousands of startup investors. It was messy. Not bad, but this was obviously a different level, and the topic was really like emerging Europe. And I think it was fairly optimistic. Like everyone basically said that we are still too slow and we need to speed it up, but that just means that there's more potential for innovation that's currently being leveraged. So I think it's, even though there's been a decrease compared to last year's investment volume into startups, I think it's never been a better time to actually create a company and fundraise for it. So even if it's harder or there's less money being deployed, it doesn't mean that the opportunities are any less. So if anything, I think right now it's probably the best time to actually create a company, and it's extremely easy to do MVP and test it. So like, I can assure you that everyone I talk to is trying to look for the best opportunities to fund, and everyone keeps saying that we need more innovations and that means more projects, more tech startups, and just trying to build better stuff. And everyone here wants to fund it. So I really think it's a good time to start it and to look for investors and build relationships with them. So for me personally, even though the event wasn't for startups, that if you have a startup, that would be the ViennaUP next year, where you can do speed dating and meet investors. This was more into the PE and VC state currently in Europe, but overall good event. Thumbs up to 0-100 conferences and Doers United, great event as always. And Budapest is really, like, honestly one of my favorite cities. So lots of great places to go to grab beer, wine, coffee, amazing restaurants. Definitely cheaper than in Prague or Vienna, and the food here is just great. So I think, and even the culture, like there's like so many people outside just doing stuff, dancing here in the park. It's crazy. So it's a really cool city. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's also a good city to visit for conferences if you're raising money or just building cool tech.